Let's turn to Fox News contributor, former Clinton pollster Doug Schoen, and New York Times best-selling author Eric Metaxas. Gentlemen, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to start with something because Catherine covered the waterfront there with Manafort and Cohen and everything else. I want to start with some of the Cohen issues. This is what Rudy Giuliani, obviously former mayor of New York, now part of the legal team for the president, says. This hysterical coverage of Cohen plea, it misses point that, once again, like Corsi leaked documents demonstrate, Mueller's crew has no evidence of collusion. Along the way, however, he is keeping America safe from false statement makers or people with faulty memories, or both. Doug?
Well, first, it is important to say that the former mayor is right. There is no assertion of collusion involving President Trump. But what there is a showing of is that the real estate deal, or the proposed deal, which supposedly ended in January of 2016, carried on to June of 2016 while Trump was running for president. And the problem there, Shannon, is that the president was negotiating with an adversarial power to do a business
According
deal.
To Cohen.
Well, yeah, according to Cohen.
Who has told a different story before.
That is all true. But it is something that bears further study, scrutiny, and, frankly, questions.
Yeah, and not surprising the New York Times would see this differently. This is what they say. As Mr. Cohen's guilty plea demonstrates, the crimes are real. What's more, there are already numerous cases filed in various federal districts that will likely bear others. It's only a matter of time before even Mr. Trump won't be able to tweet them away. Eric?
Isn't that poetic? If only it were true. Here's the issue. I happen to have written a book with the very simple title, Donald Drains the Swamp. It's no coincidence. What we're talking about ultimately, the big picture, we can get down in these weeds. The big picture is there has been collusion by people who so hated this president and so thought him utterly unthinkable in the role of president that before he became president, when he became president, and since he's become president, they have been doing everything they can to get rid of him. When you hear about a FISA warrant gotten under false pretenses, that they didn't reveal what needed to be revealed, you hear things like this almost every day. There's another piece of the puzzle. When you think of the team that Mueller assembled, he didn't even try to make it look fair. As far as I'm concerned, it's horrific. It's the definition of the swamp. It's the enemy of free self-government. And when you have that going on, it needs to be drained. I think this president is strong enough to withstand this. And I think in the end, you're going to see finally there's going to be a boomerang effect. And we're going to shine a light on that snake pit called the Clinton Foundation. And you're going to see things that are going to make everything we're talking about today, no one will talk about it anymore because it is so small. That's my theory. You can check in with me in 6 months.
We will, because we've been hearing so much about Uranium One and the Clinton Foundation. And Doug, I can't imagine the Democrats are going to want anything to do with investigating that when they take control of the House in January.
Well, they're not. I'm a Democrat. I think, in fairness, while there were a lot of talking points and rhetoric in what Eric said, what I take for it and what I believe is that we ought to look at the Clinton Foundation, look at Uranium One, look at the fundraising. You know, let's air things out. I would say also vis-a-vis Robert Mueller, I think we have a lot of issues that bear further investigation and further airing. Let the sun shine and let Jim Comey testify. What I would say, Eric, if I can finish.
What would you say?
I would say.
Let's say you finish.
If you let me finish.
I will.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
What I would say is Comey, who leaked himself, is now saying he doesn't want to testify in private because he's afraid of leaks. There's an irony there.
Well, Eric, he says he'll testify if it's publicly, if it's in the open. We can all watch it on C-SPAN.
I just want to say it is so dirty, and I'm convinced that all of them are deathly afraid of what's going to come out. I think that, you know, we don't talk about the fact that Hillary Clinton was the one that got the dossier that was presented. And there was all that stuff. If you want to air things out, all of that stuff needs to be aired out. Well, but I'm saying it all needs to be aired out. The media is not being fair. Look, the New York Times yesterday printed a headline that I even realized was a lie. They said Trump raises the issue of a pardon for Manafort. That's an absolute lie in a headline. He was responding to a question. Any president, anyone would have said, well, I wouldn't take it off the table. They translate that to he raised the issue. So the point is you have a media so complicit.
There's a difference between not liking the media and wanting to be fair and balanced.
We got to leave it there because we're fair and balanced here.
I know that.
Thank you both.
Absolutely.